What is your deepest, darkest secret? My dad had a pot pipe made of wood in the garage. I used to smoke out of it all the time because he didn't realize I knew it was there. Anyway, I didn't have a lighter one day and I used a blowtorch in the garage to smoke out of it. Completely destroyed the pipe. About 15 years later, my dad tells me about how he lost this pipe he made in his shop class in the 70s. Oops, haha. My first pipe was my parents' pipe that I found in their closet. Figured there was no way they were going to ask me if I stole their pipe. They didn't. I've lived a boring, non-secretive life, but my great-grandfather once told me a story of when he killed a man with a baseball bat for trying to rob the bar that he owned, and the regulars of the bar stashed the body somewhere and nobody ever talked about it again. He then put his finger to his mouth and said, "Shh, don't tell anyone." So there you go. Sorry, Gramps. Edit. This happened in Brazil back in the 60s. Gramps is long gone. Did it really happen? I have no idea, but it was Brazil. Something similar to that probably happened during the time it took me to type this edit out. Brazil do be like that. I stole my brother's Ghostbusters t-shirt and made an email account from the shirt napper to ransom it back to him as a mystery for him to solve. Unfortunately, he died a few weeks later before never noticing the emails. In 1996, I was 6 years old, and a friend told me that computer mouse balls were worth as much as gold. Stupidly, and with no plan, I stole one from the classroom computer. Our teacher got extremely angry, and I got really scared I'd get caught. He had us all leave the room and go in one by one so that whoever stole it could anonymously put it back. I was too scared that somebody might see, so I didn't put it back. The next day, I was going to try to secretly return it. But a kid randomly emptily confessed that he was the one who stole it and his mom went to the store to buy a new one. I should have taken a stand and said, "No, Kyle, you didn't steal it, I did." 28 years later, Kyle is a streeper at a gay nightclub, still dancing to pay his mom back. Bowls are expensive. Live in the only major urban center in a very rural area where there's all kinds of suburbs, road construction, gravel pits, etc. Whenever I see heavy equipment that doesn't get moved or is left unattended, I sneak into the work site at night, climb in the always unlocked bulldozer or whatever the heck it is, and proceed to lay on the horn in the dead of night before scrambling away. It has been a decade since I started, and I think now I've honked the horns of just about every type of heavy machinery that has one. Everyone at my job tells me everything, complains about each other to me, and I just agree with whatever they say regardless of what I actually think. Nothing feels real to me, and I sometimes wish I could be hit by a car on the way to work so I could be out for a week or two. I do this too. Being an agreeable person can actually get you relatively far in a company. Performance reviews are often popularity contests. Also agreed with, nothing feels real to me. I look around sometimes and realize this is all made up. Society, roles, everything. It's all made up. There have been times in my life when people are like, "Wow, that's a huge deal / accomplishment / moment." And I just nod and go, "Yeah, totally," while actually not caring. I've wanted to leave my current relationship for over 8 years. Edit. I would like to thank everyone for the advice and support. I have a lot of thinking to do and a massive conversation to have. After that, we'll see how things play out. I farted so bad and smelly once they had to evacuate my Spanish class to search for a gas leak. My deepest, darkest secret is that I still sleep with a nightlight on because I'm afraid of the dark. Don't judge me, it's comforting, okay? I love a good nightlight, I hate the pitch black dark, I need to be able to see something. I yelled. That crap was absolutely delicious and creamy over the Walmart intercom. I deliberately flooded my family's basement to stop them from selling our house, because I didn't want to move. It worked. The buyer backed out and we stayed put. Not really a secret, but a desire. To live a life of minimum. I want less of everything. I sit in wonder at the complexities that go into making a single day happen. I have zero wants in life. I feel all they do is take from you. I'm not getting married because I don't want to split assets in case there's a divorce, but I'll make up some other crap instead of saying that. When I was 8, I was with a group of 5 people, including myself, at a summer camp at an elementary school. One of them was my bully, but it was sort of that situation where you hang out with people just to be liked. We were wandering around the halls when someone found a teacher's room had a bunch of candy in it. Everyone started taking candy and laughing excitedly about how much they got, myself included. Then we heard a staff member coming. I was the only one who executed quick thinking and hit inside a locker with it just cracked open. I knew it wouldn't lock, but I could stay out of sight from the teacher. The other 4 people had to give back all their candy and write the teacher a 2-page personal apology for stealing candy. I was so insignificant, I just waited inside the locker for everyone else to leave, holding my breath. They did. I got out of the locker with several fistfuls of candy unscathed. Looking back, I should have never jumped inside a locker. I could have got caught inside if something went wrong, but it was still clever thinking to hide. I was around 5 or 6 in the 80s and I was at my grandma's house. Both my aunts, in their early 20s, were there and they had taken showers recently, so they had towels on. I was sitting on the floor doing a puzzle or playing with toy cars and they walked in and started talking to me. I looked up and immediately saw their huge bushes, typical 80s style, because they were standing right next to me and I was sitting on the floor. It wasn't like I was trying to look, but once I saw it, I couldn't look away. My aunt noticed me staring and realized and then called me a pervert and ran out. I was too young to even comprehend what I was looking at, but nobody has ever mentioned the incident since. Part of me wonders if they still remember. I still remember it clear as day. One of my first memories of that type, LOL. When I was in 9th grade, there was a girl who relentlessly bullied me for being skinny, telling anyone who would listen I had an eating disorder. I got a hold of her phone number somehow and used the old *67 trick and called every night at 3 a.m. on the dot and heavy breathed into the phone when she'd answer for several weeks. I even set an alarm wake myself up to do it. If she wasn't going to give me peace during the day, I wasn't going to give her peace at night. I had a terrible bicycle wreck at 11 Yo, which involved my meat and a chain and sprocket. At 18 Yo, I went in for a major reconstruction. At 20, I went in for a second to repair the surgery at 18. Currently 45 Yo, married for 23 years, absolutely zero issues since I was 20. We have a 17-year-old daughter. I'm 34 and still suck my thumb to go to sleep. I have managed to keep it well hidden over the years, but there are a few people who know, mainly exes. The conversation normally goes, "Did you know you suck your thumb while you sleep?" And I just say, "Really? I didn't know I did that." I knew the whole time.